Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is February 1st, 2024, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the market sell off after the Fed keeps interest rates unchanged. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So this time out of Great Britain at 2 p.m. South African time, it has an official bank rate that's an interest rate decision. And then at 5 p.m., ISM manufacturing PMI number coming out from the United States. In addition, today we've got corporate earnings for also Apple, Amazon, Meta, formerly known as Facebook. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, we're watching the major pairs slide versus the US dollar, and as spoken about before, the US market sold off both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ. Now looking at commodities, gold has a bounce while oil slides. Now looking at the stocks almost across the board, it had a sell-off, but today may change. Now looking lastly at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin holding strong. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD, it's a slide. It's not a sell-off, it's a slide. It's 107.84. We were trading at 108.12-ish yesterday, so really not a big deal. However, today may change that with Bank of England coming out with their official bank rate, and this may affect the euro and the USD as well. Now, not a big deal because we're just sliding here and it's not trading tremendously. However, there is support level of 107.34. If that gets breached, we could see ourselves back in that 105-ish level, so keep that in mind. Now, looking at the GBP USD, we're at the bottom of the range. Now, all intents and purposes, if we look at a monthly number, the past 2 months, we've done nothing. Almost nothing over the past 2 months. We've been on 126-ish level for a long time, and at most we were at 123. So it's really a very tight range. So that's why I'm not jumping onto the Forex symbols, and I've mentioned it 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times. Focus on the things that are trading. Now, looking at gold today, we did have a spike yesterday after the Fed did have it. Now it's inching higher. It's pushing a little bit above its 8-day moving average, and it's passing that 30-day moving average, that blue line right there. That's what I'm talking about. So it may capitulate. It may start, going off. Now 2050 is a resistance area, so keep that in mind. If it doesn't break it above it and close above it, then it's just going to continue to wander. Now looking at crude oil, really not doing much, $75 a barrel. We slid this week, maybe about $4 or $5. Not bad for a couple of days play, as this was consolidating. Yes, it hit resistance area and it sold off, completely natural. Now jumping into the US markets, this is where it gets super interesting. Now the market sold off 300 points, but the markets also went up 3,000 points. So all intents and purposes, this is just booking some profits at these levels. So just keep that in mind. It's not like the markets are going to start selling off big time. Now looking at the NASDAQ, also we got that sell-off, but it didn't sell any further off than it was the day before, and we're bouncing off support 17,000, so keep that in mind. Now looking at the individual stocks, you'll see some stocks sold off more aggressively than others, Microsoft being one of them. 397 down from 414. That's a major retracement. And this is also Microsoft coming out with its earning reports that previous day. So this is just double witched over there. Now looking at Facebook, also selling off and also below $400. That's also a sell-off. Looking at Apple, also selling off more aggressively. And so there's a variation of weak, weaker, and weakest. And that's exactly what we're looking at right now. So keep that in mind. Now looking at JP Morgan yesterday, didn't sell off much. That's because the banks profit from higher interest rates. So keep that in mind down the line, that this is continuing to show some strength. Now, lastly, let's jump into, however, I'm going to just stop this 1 second. I want to just highlight the fact NVIDIA didn't sell off so much. It sold off, but it didn't sell off so much. Okay, so keep that in mind from yesterday's activity. I'm not talking about what happened before. I'm talking about just from yesterday's activity. So I do anticipate some sort of bounce, and keep that in mind, especially if today's numbers come out really, really good. Now, as this is all happening, Big Tech is having a congressional hearing to see if it's safe and its impact on society, so on and so forth. So they're getting a lot of bad rap right now. So we may see a sell-off if there's any surprise or any kind of control or regulatory additions on those type of markets right now. So keep that in mind. Now looking at Bitcoin, unchanged, holding on strong because it's not trading with the rest of the market. So with that said, if it does get a pop, it'll pop higher, okay? And so you got to keep this in mind later today as well. This might be a nice little move. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.